What's up, guys? It's Black and back with some more RA content. We're getting right back into it. This time it is Unano playing in Ukraine in his maroon color. Unano, if I've done my math correct, cannot afford to drop a single game if he wants to get that last spot, assuming that Fazar forfeits. We're still not unsure of that. Apparently he has played happy once on this map. And then up here in the top, it is Tux. I think Tux can actually afford to lose a game or two, especially to Unano. I think it's his games against Anju and Ups that are going to really determine who wins what or gets into that 4th spot. We are, of course, on the map Snap. This is a map that I made. It's kind of like if Shadowfeed 2 and some other snow map had a baby and made each other. It is very similar. You got 5 oil derricks, one here, one in the middle, and then the reverse one on the other side. I'll do one double mine expansion for you, which is relatively close, but you do have like this accessory little 4th mine in your base that you can get to a little late if you want to, or just delay your MSV and grab that first. Mine's in the middle, you know, once again small, and then a bigger single ore mine over here after your double mine. So I played a pretty wild game on Milkman on this map. I could not figure out where his army was the entire time. Managed to win out in the end, but it's a pretty open map. There's quite a bit of eco, but it kind of stalls out because, again, once you have like this double mine gets mined out and this mine gets mined out, like there really isn't that much extra mine on. So it'll be very interesting how this game plays. Looks like both players are staged up for a battle in the middle. There's lots of barrels that you have to be careful of. We know how deadly those can be from a few casts back, I believe. Tux has some fancy fake flower plants, which I can barely see. Looks like it's just the one. I like how he does have them all close to those, so you're never going to be sure. And he's in a perfect concave against Unano right now. So Unano is not going to be able to take this middle fight. He's going to try, but as soon as he sees that capture, Tux can probably be able to move in and just overwhelm him. Looks like he's spending a lot of extra money on rifles, where Unano is trying to build some rockets for an early vehicle. But war factories are still 22 seconds out, and I believe this is going to go much better for Tux. Looks like he's setting up, really getting that concave ready. One of Tux things is he likes to do is set up one big concave death ball. It's kind of like the strategy I think of when I think of Tux, and he's kind of proven it here. There we go. Oh, he actually stops the order just in time too. But I think he's going to go in again. Nice surround on him, and Unano is actually going to lose all of his early rockets too, which is pretty important. So not a great start for Unano. He's going to have to back all the way back out. Ranger, or Engineer rather, not Ranger, is going to be forced to turn home, retire. And now, Anju, Unano with the secondary engineer going to capture this Tux's oil derrick on the backside, which is easy to forget since it is a snow map and they do kind of blend in. Another reason I think this reminds me of Shadowfiend is just because you do see a lot of people do double engineers. These oil derricks are pretty far apart, so double engineer is a little bit likely, but looks like Unano is going to have a short-lived capture of that oil derrick as Tux is going to come in. I think the Ranger's in there, the Engineer's in there. Pretty sure that's yellow. It's a little bit hard to see against these white backdrop, but we'll find out in just a second. I guess I could look on the rest of the map, but I don't see it. I'm assuming it's in there. In fact, I'm like 99% sure it is. That Engineer actually gonna get spotted by the Ranger, but I don't know if it's within the attack range. I don't think it is. He's barely gonna be able to run by, and he's actually slightly hidden by the edge of the map, so Tux unfortunately gonna miss an Engineer. And I do like this from Unano. As soon as the Engineer pops out, that APC's actually was already in the neighborhood. It'll be interesting to see if he'll attack the Engineer first. If he had to move that Ranger, I wonder if he would attack the Ranger, but down goes the Engineer. Unano's gonna keep this oil derrick for a little longer. Does not get a rocket, I don't think. I think they all lived, but unfortunately now he's going to lose the oil derrick. That's alright. APC probably paid for itself, killing the Engineer on the handful of rifles that he got. Let's see what we got going on right here. The classic Tux pillbox by his SD. He doesn't like his SD getting capped, and that's a great way to solve it. Just a little bit more expensive, you know, an extra 600, a little bit more power, but nothing too crazy right there. He's going to move out his suspension SV to that double ore mine. It looks like Unano is doing the same thing. Very similar timings. Nobody going for that 4th ore patch yet, although it looks like Tux is in a slightly better position to do so. I mean, it's really fine. You're probably better off economically getting this. It's just if you want to go more of a tank heavy first push, you're gonna keep you in main base, delay that MSV, get some medium tanks or heavy tanks out, expand a ref here without drying up all your eco. Army value is about 3k ahead of Tux, and that's a little bit interesting. So it looks like Unano is, he lost that early engagement here. Yeah, about 1500 there. So Tux is just probably a little bit better on the macro side anyways, which I think Tux is a decent macro player. Not so much of a tech player, so that tier 1.5 death ball, kind of his signature move, along with that good concave, massive death ball, and then just push for win. Now Tux is going to move out his main MCV. And again, since this map is so big, like 2 MCVs almost feel like not enough. Yeah, you can move out your main MCV to here, but like then you got this wide flank. Looks like Unano managed to capture Tux's other oil deck too, so Unano is sitting on a 3-1, which is always nice. He's got that other engineer in the back too, so yeah, this map's pretty big. I mean, this flank is pretty protected because you have an oil deck there. His MSV does kind of shut down this, but you gotta have some scouts still just in case they don't screw around you. This one a little bit more open since you don't have the extra oil deck vision there, but you should have a base right here, maybe a base right here. It just depends on how you want to split up the map too. So if you like this map, I think it's got some cool stuff. It's not an easy map to play necessarily. Soviet's probably a little bit hamstrung on it just because the heavy tank speeds are going to slow him down. But we'll have to see how it goes. I know Tux really needs these points, and Unano really needs these points, so I think both players should be motivated. I'd love to see Tux make it into playoffs for Masters. That'd be really cool. And Unano always has that chance of getting into playoffs somewhere, some other. Who knows? Maybe Happy will forfeit after he gets to the playoffs, and Unano will still magically make it in. Cause that would not surprise me at the very least. Looks like Tux has a little bit of a flank detachment over here. That's a decent amount. A little bit heavy on the rifles, but 3 rockets, 1 medium tank, pretty good. Much bigger army in the middle. Unano is scouting with a flak, and he's probably going to see that army. Yep. Tux does like his medics too, so no damage done by that flak, and it gets away, fortunately for him. He needs to send it back to the repair pad. Unano did have a rifle scout here. He's going to maybe see that army, but looks like he might be paying attention somewhere else. Another tank flank going on here, so getting bigger map allows for that type of stuff. But Unano's in a really good position just to roll onto this. Tux is going to push, and that's a bad idea. Medium tank instantly going down. Fortunately, the flak is not with him, but he is moving out an MCV into the middle, which is quite interesting. Tux should be able to see that now. Yep, he does see it. But I think Unano is in a decent position to take this fight, actually. He's going to be able to envelop on the right and then rotate left. No more armor for Tux, although Unano's armor is also dying up. He's executing overtime, trying to keep that infantry alive a little bit longer, but Unano is going to be able to clean that up, that fight, and now he's got a 5k lead. Same time, that flank is finally starting to hit, but Unano is on top of it. Can get the harvester away. Might die just because of the medium tank and he doesn't have any else support here. Defense is still a minute or a few seconds away. See where he places this could matter. If he places it right here, I think that's a great spot. Try to get it onto those rockets. But he is taking this fight to Tux right now. Placing it back there, that's interesting. Tux preemptively pulling those harvesters off, that's probably smart, because he is definitely going to lose the space. Probably going to lose his MSV too, since he didn't pull it away. He's going to try. I don't think it's going to get it away though. One more burst and it goes down. Pillbox is going to go down. Now Tux is in a lot of trouble. He does have this link coming down here, but Unano can kill this and then turn onto the bottom. His tanks are actually going to be in a really good position for that. We'll have to see how it goes. Oh, looks like Tux might be using the harvesters as bait. Looks like that got cleaned up at the bottom. Bestie almost went down. Ooh, losing a harvester there is not great. Ooh, second harvester not great. He's losing a little bit too many harvesters right now. He has the medium tanks here. He doesn't need to lose these harvesters. But does save the third one. That's nice. He always can do mechanics and repair that too. But Tux should be alright. He's got 2 refs over here, so his economic value is still going to be pretty good. Same time, ooh, that tank flank down here, you got 2 harvesters and forces the third one off. So that was a lot of Unano's income, and then both players are about to take a dive really steep in this next minute or two. I know somehow has an AK float. I don't know how that's possible. Maybe just not producing, but I guess the economic damage is not going to be so great in the immediate future. It might be later where it comes to taking effect. No mechanics out for Tux. That's fine. That was kind of hard to do anyways, and he is completely broke. But he should stabilize in just a second here. Probably build another MCV. Yep. He needs to get this base back to shot, which I'd probably just drop a ref and then try to instantly move out here. This is very valuable, but if you can control this too, and you know that Unano is unlikely to have a secondary army there since you just cleaned up one not too long ago. Trying to find that tank flank. You can find it with a rocket right there, but the tank's going to be able to quickly outmaneuver that. I do like this forward base too. It's really cutting down his reinforcement path. The middle of this map is kind of important, but again, flanks on this map are big and huge, so middle is less important when you can do that. Tux gonna come in again, and he's got the tank numbers, but don't think he has the infantry numbers. And this tank gonna get caught out a little too far forward, instantly goes down. Now Unano has the tank numbers, and Tux needs to retreat out of there. Army of ours are still relatively similar, 19,000 to 15,000, so a little slight edge to Unano. But he's going to keep pushing Tux back, and if Tux gets stuck in his side of the map and in his base, then that'll allow Unano just to freely expand, which he really should be doing. I think he's getting a little sidetracked on being aggressive. Ranger's still alive for Tux. I don't know how that was possible. It's a minute 11 in, and Ranger's still alive. That's actually pretty good. But now Unano's getting forced back. Probably the correct decision. Tux had the concave waiting in the wings, which is always dangerous. But I don't like this move out from Tux. He's going to go in. If he gets these heavy tanks caught out, sure, but I don't know. It's actually going to be pretty close. Just needs to get these tanks in front, and they're not in front, unfortunately, so Tux is having a much better engagement than I expected here. He's actually going to force Unano to move that MC away. Reinforcements are coming in, and Tux is probably going to be forced back, and now he's doing the same thing with an MCV, moving into the front. MCV going to get away unless the barrels... Oh, the barrels get it! That's great. I haven't seen a barrels kill an MC like that. What a game going on right now. Tux is gonna be able to clean this up. I mean, he might lose his medium tank, but he's gonna be able to suffer that loss. And no, the medium tech actually lives. He needs to send that back ASAP. Unano's starting to get picked apart a little bit here. He's up to tier 2, I see that. Looks like Tux is still sticking with tier 1.5. That could be a difference maker. Unano is competent and can play with tier 2. I've seen Tux play with tier 2 and tier 3, but yeah, he's definitely more comfortable playing tier 1.5 for sure. Unano's losing that. MCV gets forced away, so he does not have any building going on right now. That's fine. He's up to 2 War Factory 2, which is quite interesting. So, not building any... okay, he is building V2. So I was gonna say, he's not building tier 2 units, has tier 2. Usually is a sign of skipping to tier 3, but... he's gonna attack into here, and Tux has 1 pillbox for armor and 1 medium tank on the side. The second pillbox comes down. And Unano needs to retreat. Yeah, he's, oof. 20,000 to 7,000, that's actually not looking great right now. This is probably Unano's game to lose. Oh, there's the Tux pause. Yep, his mom, grandma, something like that. I gotta readjust. Take a look at the basic APM, see if that shoots up. He's at 51 right now, so you never know. We'll have to see how it shoots up afterwards. Not that I don't think Tux actually does. He just has to pause because of reasons, but we gotta keep him honest. I want to look away from this, but I can't. Yeah, you need to settle down, establish your eco. That's probably what's hurting you right now. Your cash is pretty low. Tux has more than half the map, so you do have tier 2, which is nice. Your Ukraine, so which unfortunate on a big map like this. Mammoth tanks are not what you're gonna want unless you can force it into like a base push scenario. Tux has a lot of army waiting in the back. Ranger's still alive and repaired, which is nice, but does still have 3 old Dirks, I believe, so that's actually probably keeping him afloat rather nicely. Yeah, it's gonna come down to this. If you can push Tux out of this spot and claim this ore patch, establish your MCV like right around this area, kind of how Tux is, or how he was before he moved to MCV. That'll help shore up this left side. You can kind of focus more on the right. You're gonna have to grab this too at some point, so that's what I would do if I was Unano. Push here, establish here, protect here, and then as soon as I feel like that's safe and protected, keep eyes on the middle since this is kind of where a lot of the action is. Take this ore patch so I can get it up on economically. Go to tier 3 at that rate. Get some IC out, that'll change the difference. Yaks are going to be really good. Prayer bombs, unfortunately not going to be super great since it is a big map, but you can maybe get something on the edge. Mammoth tank's not going to be really good unless you can do that base push scenario, so you're going to be stuck on heavy tanks, which is fine. If you can keep ahead of Tux on War Factory count, which they have the same, so 1 more War Factory for Unano would even them up with medium tanks. Heavy tanks are better than medium tanks except for the speed problem, so 3 War Factory to 2 War Factory. You're going to have heavy tanks at the same rate as medium tanks pretty much, and that will make all the difference. Alright, this thing is still going on, so we're going to fast forward this. Unano is getting a nice little reprieve actually right now. It's like the rare pause that you can just take a break, maybe look at the map, see what he sees, which I'm sure he's doing. maybe get this engineer into play, do something fancy. Tux is, I mean, you're not going to get that SD for sure, but that War Factory is exposed. Ref is pretty exposed. There's Ranger here, so who knows. But yeah, that's the way back into it for Unano. See, the armor graph is really dipping. Unano took a pretty bad engagement here. I think that was when Tux was pushing in the middle with his MCV, and the second one right here was when he tried to go back in and did not go so well. Earning, yeah, Unano was focused too much on the attack, was not expanding when he should have been. He looks like he's starting to catch up a little bit, but he's gonna have to establish here before he can really catch up on that eco graph. And yeah, Tux on the other hand, I guess, you know, yeah, Tux is in a good position here. If he can keep this place, then he'll be fine. That's probably where I would focus a lot of my attention. Maybe you shore up some of this. Definitely consider going 3 MCV, especially since you have 2 War Factory to place another MCV right here. That will, you know, pretty much prevent you from getting flanked on any one area, and you can drop some pillboxes for some support. I don't think he knows that Unano is tier 3. In fact, hasn't really seen a whole lot of Unano space at all. I don't think the other player really has. No, Unano doesn't know where Tux's MC is. Tux knows where Unano's MC is, but that's about it. But yeah, just focus right here. Maybe get up to tier 2, tier 3, because tier 3 allies is pretty good, especially on a map this big. You get that GPS flowing every 2 minutes. That'll cut down on any flanks and unknown stuff, and we're ready to go. All right. Nope. Nothing changed in APM, so honest Tux. And yeah. So let's see what Unano decides to do. He's gonna try to do a little tank flank there. Unfortunately, Tux has a bunch of armies sitting there, so that's not gonna work. And the Ranger is scouting just as the Engineer gets moving, but Engineer dies. That's unfortunate. So, oh, we got a base push scenario here. So this is kind of actually what you want as Unano. You want Tux to base push right here. That V2 instantly going to take a little damage onto that MCV. Conga line of infantry right there, not great for Tux. Oh, but he's pulling the V2 away like that. He should just be focusing on that pillbox or the MCV. I don't think he's aware of it. Unano was building another MCV. He's going to lose all his army right here. That's actually unfortunate. I think this is probably going to be the good game after that long pause. V2 went down to the pillboxes. Tux has one more medium tank left. Harvester getting placed down there for just some extra support, but it's going down. There's GGG, so unfortunate that a pause lasted so long right before the game was about to end, but there was a way back for Unano, I think. Tux made a great play with the base push there, and Unano splitting off that tank at a bad time just made it work for him, so we'll jump into game 2. Alright, we're back here for game 2. Looks like Tux is Germany, and Unano is Ukraine once again. Tux ran random allies into Germany, and Unano picked Ukraine, so they're saying they suck on this map. The only other time I think I've seen Unano play this map was Master and against, was it Cav? And he had a chance and then kind of lost it. Does feel a little bit like a pit fight. I can see that, just the starting eco. This is kind of a, yeah, I could see the pit fight aspect of it. That makes sense. Fortunately, with that loss, Unano is, I'm pretty sure, eliminated mathematically from playoffs. There's always the chance that somebody forfeits and he's suddenly back into it, but Tux, on the other hand, is starting to look good. That win against Unano does help him. We'll have to see how they go with the 1-0 Derek. Looks like Unano is gonna go for it, maybe. We'll have to see if the engineer pops out. Tux is just gonna keep his army in the same base, not gonna bother going for that old Derek at all. One more rifle coming out, and nope, no engineer yet. No, there it is. Slowly, a little bit late, delayed. If I'm Unano, I don't know. Nothing to lose at this rate if you're aware that you're mathematically limited, so that could cause you to do something cheesy. I've done that before a long time ago when I just knew I wasn't going to play in the playoffs. So it's just like, was kind of an experiment with some weird builds, do some weird stuff. I do like that EA scouting here, you know, especially when your opponent has no presence out there. That's a chance to go, what's going on here? Tux does apparently have some cheese. I think he tried it against me in one of these games and it did not go well. But he's probably just doing solo double ref right now. Nothing too fancy. Unano doing double ref. He split his refineries. I'm not a big fan of that. Rockets coming out for Tux. No rockets out for Unano, and MCV pretty much on par. So it looks like Unano has a slight half-second lead. Let's see, that's going to make all the difference. Because of that, I'm calling Unano to win this game. That half-second is going to lead to another half-second flak, which is going to lead to a half-second MCV, which is going to lead to a base push. And that's how Unano is going to win this. He's going to drop a ref here, move here, drop a ref here, and then move into the base. That's how I see this game going. So I'll probably be wrong, because anytime I say something like that, it's exactly the opposite. But we'll see. Unano is ready for some Grenadiers that are never going to come because Tux is allies. And I mean, he should know that he ran allies. It's always safe to have some rifles there too. You never know when you're going to get a 20 rifle push. It's very rare nowadays since spawn points are pretty long. This one is a little bit bigger than Pit Fight, but you know, so the rifles are going to take forever to get there, and the oil taker's in the middle, so you'd have to like rally weirdly around to get a rifle push to the middle. But some maps are kind of close together. You could do that early rifle push. You don't see too much anymore. It seems like play nowadays is really solidified into a very slow macro-oriented front. Not a whole lot of early aggression with Grand stuff like that. Tux does see that Unano captured the oil derrick, so you know he went engineer. It's very likely he went double ref into that, and it looks like he's going to go ahead and scout for that anyways. Let's see what he sees. Sees the ref here, sees 2 power plants. Okay, that's not bad. See if you can get up here. That's what he really wants to see. There's the war factory. Perfect. That's what you love to see. And he gets to see ARAX. He's going to block the war factory, but it doesn't look like actually... Okay, he is. I just can't see because I'm in his view. Fortunately, that means this HC or Ranger Rattler is probably going to get poked down just because the flak was the perfect thing coming out of there. So a little bit ballsy to try to do that and block it. Yeah, flak Ranger. The rifle is poking away at that Ranger too. Make sure that that flak was going to pop out and kill that Ranger. It only takes like 5 or 6 pellets to kill it. So now Tux down in a Ranger. Nothing too bad right there. He's probably going to place a pillbox right here to protect his war factory and the SD. And it's got medics out, which is good. So this flak, once again, not going to be able to do a whole lot. It's going to capture this one rifle since it's a little too far away. Nope. Pulls back. Good play there. And he's calling Unano Muppet. That's great. Fozzie Bear's the Muppet. Expansion MCV out coming out for Unano. Tux's MCV is also out. Taking a weird path. Kind of confused on where he wants to go. That's alright. Unano's MCV is going to get there first. He's going across the OR, which is great. I think that's the better position here. You go across the OR, send a rifle scout here, and that'll pretty much shut down that flank. Do you like this from Unano? He is hunting for rifle scouts, going to kill him when he can. Both players got that expansion ref coming out. Looks like Unano's is just a little bit quicker. And that was, again, that's that half second that I was talking about. So if he moves this MCV right here, it's starting to look really good for me on my prediction. Flak going to kill another Ranger Scout. First medium tank is out. First heavy tank coming out in just a second here. So very similar army value. In fact, it's just going to be the Ranger difference there. But it looks like Unano actually started his infrastructure just a half second quicker. Let's see, he's moving his second NC out all the way to the corner. Looks like Tux is probably going to do the same thing. Oh, the flak goes down. That's unfortunate. He was about to pick off the medic, which would have been really good. But oh, Unano has to be very careful right here. He's got to wait for that heavy tank to get in position, and it's they're so weird that they want to always get caught in the back. He's going to have a nice, good concave right here, but with one tank, it's always risky to engage. And unfortunately, he's going right into Tux and his death ball. And there's a pillbox there. Oh, this could not go worse for Unano. He's going to try to get some crushes with the heavy tank, but he's actually still taking somewhat of engagement here, but the medics and second medium tank coming in is going to route all of that. So it looks like Tux is doing what I thought Unano were going to try to do, and that's basically push into this spot right here. A second flak coming out, but again, there is flaks, or there is medics, so these flaks not going to do that much at all. 8,000 to 9,000 loss, that's not terrible. Let's, you know, it's not game ending. But Tux is going to base push across this OR, and Unano is going to be in a lot of trouble. It's pretty much going to split him between his main base and this expansion. Tux can go either way. Unano is going to try to get a flank on here. He's going to have a decent angle, actually. But the problem is I just think Tux has a better base position right here. Tux can afford these losses for a while, and Unano can't really have the space on his front door. 2 heavy tanks left, one about to go down, and well, suddenly Tux is in a slightly bad position, needs to get another pillbox out, and it's ready. Probably should place it right about here. See where he places it. He needs to get his vehicle production into the fight too. He's gonna get pushed back actually, and that flak actually might come into play. There's another pillbox that'll probably kill the flak before it kills it. You may leave, yeah. Good defense there by Unano. I was kind of looking a little glim from there, but still not looking great. I don't think Tux's eco's been undeterred. Unano's eco's been undeterred. The only difference is that Tux was trying to expand into Unano, so Unano might be up on expansion now. And his army value is actually starting to get to that dangerous spot. 10,000 to 5,000. Pretty bad. But again, once again, Tux has a really good position here, and he can kind of protect his side, where Unano is very heavily split between his 3 bases. And of course, it's Tux, so we're going to have some chat in the game too. Now he's moving his main FC out, or yeah, he's starting to FC out that way. I mean, that's fine. It's going to, you know, keep us holding the center a little bit more secure. But if this goes undetected, which it won't, there's some scouts there. Tux is going to correctly rotate to the right side now. Got pillboxes ready. Unano is going for radar, which is interesting, and he's at 2 war factors, which is also pretty interesting. So he can start producing those heavy tanks at the same rate as medium tanks, which is good because he does have the tank count ahead anyways. And this MCV is going to get instantly forced off. Might get it a pillbox before it deploys. Oh, that could be a really good attack by Unano right here. Perfect concave. Actually going to force Tux off. And there it goes. All of his tanks. There's the GG for Tux all the way. So, not exactly how I called it, but it kind of ended where I said it would, I guess. I'll take a half point for that. So Unano wins that. That actually probably hurts Tux's chances a little bit, but like I said, I think in the start of the series, Tux could afford to lose a loss to Unano. It's more of his games against Andrew and Apps that are really going to determine who gets that 4th spot. So, well played there, Unano. That might keep you in the running for some weird shenanigans for playoffs, but we'll have to see later. And until next time.